Catherine was now living in Norwich and began busking with a guitar in the city centre. Apparently a policeman approached her and asked if he could take the instrument, and he proceeded to tune it in. Then he handed it back to her saying, "Try that, I just couldn't stand it being out of tune any longer." Her playing then improved and a local artist created this portrait. Catherine met Phil Day and eventually they moved in together. She became pregnant but soon felt the need to find her own flat, and the Umbrella Housing Association agreed to rent one to her. Catherine gave birth to Sky David on December the 25th, 1997 at 3 p.m. Sky, because Catherine noticed the sun appearing through the clouds as he was being born. David, after David Corlett, Kirsty's brother, who we had just heard had died after a farming accident. At 6 p.m. we visited them. Paul, Roger and I nearly took a tea towel each to play the part of the shepherds. A few months later we received a telephone call from the police. Phil had caused an incident outside Catherine's flat, and she had asked them to ring us to come and collect her. Having got Catherine and Sky safely back to Geldeston Rectory, I returned to collect their belongings. In 1995 took Paul and his possessions to 9 Dallas York Road, Beeston, where he had moved in with his friends James and John Wallace. Catherine moved into Paul's Norwich flat in Sigismund Road with her friends Cass and Dean. One sunny afternoon in 1996, the four of us spent a pleasant day together at Pleasurewood Hills. In 1998, Paul began studying sound engineering at Clarendon College. And in October we drove up to Long Eaton and went with him and his girlfriend Claire to attend Andrew and Becky's wedding. Paul brought us a kitten born at Dallas York Road. So Toodles came to live at Geldeston, much to Peter's disgust. However, Toodles made friends with Bertie instead and slept most nights in the kennel with him. One day Toodles was seen leaving a neighbour's shed with a spring in his step, with the first mouse that he had ever caught. However, hanging off the mouse was the trap that had killed it first. During the service, Sky crawled up the aisle while I was in the pulpit. When he got to the foot of the pulpit steps, he sat up and pointed at me. The congregation found it quite amusing. For Christmas, Paul bought me a wooden Noah's Ark, and Catherine bought me a wooden parrot on a perch. Both took pride of place in my study and became quite a focal point at baptism interviews. After an interview with home sitters at Aylesbury, Jan and I set out for Wisbeach, where we looked after a dog, 2 cats, and a 90-year-old tortoise named Joe. And then we went to Colchester to care for 9 Jacob sheep, 3 cats and 3 budgerigars at an old Georgian rectory, with its own large paddock, woodland and sequoia tree. We enjoyed feeding the sheep 9 separate piles of sheep nuts in the morning and a bag of hay and 2 apples each in the evening.
Nice. Good.
On Christmas Day 1999, I baptised Sky. He stood on a chair watching intently everything that was going on, and then proceeded to put his own hand into the water, which he drew to his forehead and rebaptised himself. Mo Sawyer and Lorna Pugh kindly bought presents for him. Sky regularly stayed overnight with us to give Catherine a rest. He was very good and went to bed with no trouble, but was normally a bit upset because Catherine was not there, and would quietly say "Mummy" as we read him a story. Mum and Dad bought Sky a Thomas the Tank Engine toy, which Sky called his train track, and he referred to me as Grandice. Peter was not well over Christmas, and we thought that he was about to die. However, the Norwich vet gave him antibiotic and anti-inflammatory jabs and assured us that he would recover, which he did. One, two, three, four. Oh,